$1 in my hand, with an aching in my heart, and my pockets full of sand. I'm a long way from home, and I miss my loved ones so. In the early morning rain, with no place to go, out on the runway number 9, big 707 set to go. But I'm stuck here in the grass, where the pavement never grows. Well, the liquor tasted good, and those women all were fast. Well, there she goes, my friend. Well, she's rolling down at last. Hear the mighty engines roar, see the silver 'cause I can be. You can't jump a jet plane like you can a freight train, so I'd best be on my way in the early morning rain. You can't jump a jet plane like you can a freight train, so I'd best be on my way in the early morning rain. I'm not saying that I love you, I'm not saying that I'll care if you love me. I'm not saying that I'll care, I'm not saying I'll be there when you want me. I can't give my heart to you, or tell you that I'll sing your name up to the sky. I won't lay the promise down that I'll always be around when you need me. Now I may not be alone each time you see me, along the street or in a small cafe, but still I won't deny you or mistreat you. Baby, if you let me have my way, I'm not saying I'll be sorry for all the things that I might say that make you cry. I can't say I'll always do the things you want me to. I'm not saying I'll be true, but I'll try. Now I may not be alone each time you see me, or show up when I promised that I would, but still I won't deny you or mistreat you. Baby, if you love me like you should, I'm not saying I'll be sorry for all the things that I might say that make you cry. I can't say I'll always do the things you want me to. I'm not saying I'll be true, but I'll try. I can't say I'll always do the things you want me to. I'm not saying I'll be true, but I'll try. song called I'm Not Sayin, which is, I think, being done by Leroy Van Dyke at this point, with voices and strings, and this over here. I'm going to do a song by Phil Ochs, and Phil wrote this song when he was up in Toronto last summer, and it's a very beautiful song called Changes. Sit by my side, come as close as the air, sharing a memory of gray, and wander in my words, and dream about the pictures that I play of changes. Green leaves of summer turn red in the fall, to brown and to yellow they fade, and then they have to die, trapped within the circle time parade of changes. Scenes of my young years were warm in my mind, visions of shadows that shine, till one day I returned and found they were the victim of the vines of changes. Moments of magic did glow in the night, all fears of the forest were gone, but when the morning broke, they swept away with golden drops of dawn of changes. Passions will part to a warm melody, as fires will sometimes turn cold, like petals in the wind. We're puppets to the silver strings of souls of changes. Your tears will be trembling, now we're somewhere else. One last cup of wine we will pour, I'll kiss you one more time and leave you on the rolling river shore of changes. So sit by my side, come as close as the air, sharing a memory of gray, and wander in my words and dream about the pictures that I play of changes. Before we carry on, I would like to meet my right arm and a very able and capable bass player, Mr. Paul Weidman on the bass, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got our mic setup has changed a little bit, and a little bit more of us this time. This is a song I wrote in collaboration with Robert Service, so I don't feel really badly about doing it. I've done the song in a lot of places, in various crowds, and a story about a dog that lived out in Bell's Corners. This dog wanted to move into Toronto where he could I blew it, huh? He wanted to move into Ottawa where he could swing with the city dogs. They wouldn't accept him because of his lowly breed. But this dog had talent. Talent he displayed on every street corner, lamp post, garden gate, curbstone, and fire hydrants, and resulted in the great piddling contest of '59. Well, a farmer's dog once came to town by the Christian name of Pete, and he was a hound of high renown, and his looks were hard to beat. And as he walked into the town, it was beautiful to see his work on every corner and his mark on every tree. As he watered every gateway, and he never missed a post, 'cause piddling was his masterpiece, and piddling was his boast. Well, the city dog stood looking on with a deep and envious rage to see this simple country dog, the piddler of the age. They sniffed him over one by one, and they sniffed him two by two, but noble Pete in high disdain stood still till they were through. And as they sniffed him over, their praise for him ran high, and when one sniffed him underneath, Pete piddled in his eye. Well, then, just to show these city dogs that he didn't give a damn, Pete stole into the grocer's shop and he piddled on the ham. Piddled on the onions and he piddled on the floor, and when the grocer kicked him out, Pete piddled on the door. Well, behind him all the city dogs debated what to do. They'd hold a piddling contest to show him who was who. Well, they showed Pete all the piddling posts that they knew about the town. He started out with many a wink to get the poor dog down. But Pete was with them every trick, with vigor and with vim, and 1,000 piddles more or less were all the same to him. And on went noble Pete with hind leg kicking high, while most were lifting legs in bluff or piddling mighty dry. And on went noble Pete as he watered every sandhill, and all the city champions were piddled to a standstill. Well, then Pete an exhibition gave in all the ways to piddle, like double drips and fancy flips and now and then a dribble. And all the time the country dog did neither wink nor grin, but piddled blithely out of town as he had piddled in. Now the city dog said, "So long, Pete, your piddling did defeat us," but no one ever put them wise. Pete had diabetes. Thank you very much. I don't, as long as Robert Service wrote it, it's not in bad taste. And this is a song of mine which I've written, which is sort of like an epic, which I mean is it's a story. And I played it for Ian Tyson. He said, "My God, you've written an epic." He said, so I'm calling it an epic. It's a song about a ship. It's going down well with the audience. That's her. I'm going to tell you about it. This song is about the cruise ship Yarmouth Castle, which sank on the way from Miami to Nassau about 6 weeks ago, or 2 months ago. And the thing about the ship was that it was registered in Panama, and that way it avoided the American navigation laws for safety. The fire equipment was inadequate, and anybody that knew ships knew that it was an old ship, and that it should have been under repair, extensive repair, or it should have been off the sea. And the fact that the captain left the wreck at the height of the emergency caused a few eyebrows to raise here and there. And the only way that the 350 people who were saved, and there were 85 people that went down with the ship, most of them trapped below decks, the only reason they were saved was because the ship was being followed by another cruise ship called the Bahama Star, which took off the people as they jumped overboard. This is a song called The Ballad of the Yarmouth Castle. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the anchors have been weighed. From Miami to Nassau, she's bound across the waves. She's a-heading south to Biscayne Bay into the open sea. The Yarmouth Castle, she's a-dying and don't know it. Now the many years she's been to sea, she's seen the better times. She gives a groan of protest as they cast away her lines. And the grumble of her engines and the rust along her spine tells the castle she's too old to be sailing. But the sands run out within her heart, a tiny spark glows red and smolders through the evening, there's laughter overhead. Well, the dinner's served and the cards are dealt and the drinks are passed around, while deep within the fire starts a burning. Now it's midnight on the open sea and the moon is shining bright. Some people join the party and others say goodnight. There's many who are sleeping now, it's been a busy day, and the tiny wisp of smoke is arising. Oh Lord, she groans, I'm burning, let someone understand. But her silent plea is wasted in the playing of the band. Everybody's dancing on the decks and they're having such a time. And a voice says, shut up and deal, I'm losing. Deep within the Yarmouth castle, the fire begins to glow. It leaps into the hallways and climbs and twists and grows. Now the paint she wore to keep her young, oh Lord, how well it burns. And soon that old fire is a-raging. Now beneath the bridge she's climbing fast, the captain stands aloft. He calls up to the bosun, says, bosun, we are lost. Now the ragged hoses in the racks, no pressure do they hold. And the people down below are a-dying. All amidships, oh, she's blazing now, she's spreading fore and aft. And the people are a-scrambling as the fire blocks their path. Now the evil smoke surrounds them and they're falling in the tracks. And the captain in his lifeboat is a-leaving. Ship, the Hammer Star, comes steaming through the night. She sees the castle blazing, and 'tis a terrible sight. Jump down, her captain cries, we'll save you if we can. And the paint on his funnels is a-frying. God help the ones who sleep below and cannot find the way. Thank God for those we rescue upon this awful day. Now the heroes, they are many, but the times are growing slim. For now from stern to bow, she's a-blazing. Oh, the Yarmouth castle's moaning, she's crying like a child. You can hear her if you listen above the roar so wild. Is she crying for the ones who lie within her molten sides, or crying for herself, I'm a-wondering. But the living soon will rescue the ones who live to tell. And from the star they watched her as she died there in the swells. Like a toy ship on a mill pond, she burned all through the night, then slipped beneath the waves in the morning.
going to do something that's impossible. I'm going to move my capo. And directly thereafter, there will be a 5-minute tuning session, which you may all take an intermission. When I die and go to hell, I will be sentenced to an eternity of tuning 12-string guitars. I'm trying to figure out what note that heater is playing. There's one there, I know it. What's really fun is when you break a string, you see when you... There's a little experimental tune of mine, which I'd like to do for you. It's called If You Got It. If you got it, don't lose it, girl, it's got to be the one creative thing that's left for you and me. If you find it, don't lose it on the very next day. Lock it in your soul and throw the key away. So don't you let it go, let it stay, let it grow like the snow. Don't let it melt away. If you got it, then give it, girl, with all your mind. Forget about yourself, you're not the losing kind. If you find it, then keep it warm, don't let it die. You may only see it once, don't let it pass you by. So don't you let it go, let it stay, let it grow like the snow. Don't let it melt away. If you got it, then give it, girl, with all your mind. Forget about yourself, you're not the losing kind. If you find it, then keep it warm, don't let it die. You may only see it once, don't let it pass you by. So don't you let it go, let it stay, let it grow like the snow. Don't let it melt away. If you got it, then give it, girl, with all your mind. Forget about yourself, you're not the losing kind. If you find it, then keep it warm, don't let it die. You may only see it once, don't let it pass you by. Pass you by, don't let it die. Don't let it go. Does this mean... Does this mean my time is up? I mean... Are the house lights on? Somebody must have hit the switch. She had a couple more songs. I mean, just two. Hey, well, all right, sir, open the gate and let him out and walk on board. Here come a letter number 29, what are you gonna give for him? I got 25, a middle 25, you middle on the 30, got a 25, all in your middle on the 35, you middle on the 35, you middle on the 35, you middle on the 35. Got a $30 bit of pound, you middle on the 35, you middle on the 40, got a 35, all in your middle on the 45, you middle on the 45, you middle on the 50, got a 45, all in your middle on the 55, yes sir, you middle on the 55. Well, there was a boy from Arkansas who wouldn't listen to his mom when she told him that he should go to school. Well, he'd sneak away in the afternoon, take a little walk, then pretty soon you'd find him at the local auction barn. Well, he'd stand and listen carefully until at last he began to see how the auctioneer could talk so rapidly. Well, he said, oh my, it's do or die, I've got to learn that auction cry, I wanna make my mark and be an auctioneer. $25 bid and a $30 30, you make a 30 bill, a 30 bid on a $30 hootie, give me 30 hootie, give me $30 bill. I got a $30 bid and a 35, when you make a 35 bid, a 35, give me 35, who's gonna bid it a $35 bill? Time went by and he did his best, and all could see he did not jest. Practice calling bids both the night and day. Well, his pappy find him behind the barn, just working up an awful storm as he tried to imitate the auctioneer. Well, his pap said, son, we just can't stand to have a mediocre man selling things at auction using our good name. Well, I'm gonna send you off to auction school, and then you'll be nobody's fool, and you can take your place among the best. $35 bid and now $40, 40, when you make a 40 bill, a 40 bill, I want a $40 hootie, give me 40, hootie, give me $40 bill. I got a $40 bid and now 45, when you make a 45 bill, a 45, give me 45, who's gonna bid it a $45 bill? Well, from the boy that went to school, there grew a man who played it cool. He'd come back home a full-fledged auctioneer. And the people would come from miles around just to hear him make that rhythmic sound that filled the hearts with such a happy cheer. Well, his fame spread out from shore to shore. He'd all that he could do and more. He had to buy a plane to get around. Well, he's the best in all the land. Let's pause and give that man a hand, 'cause he's the best of all the auctioneers. $45 bid and a $50 50, when you make a 50 bill, a 50 bill on a $50 hootie, give me 50 hootie, give me a $50 bill. I got a $50 bid and a 55, will you make a 55, 55, give me 55, who's gonna bid it a $55 bill? Hey, well, all right, sir, open the gate and let him out and walk on, boys. Here come a letter number 29, what are you gonna give for him? I got 25, a bid and 25, if you don't know 30, got a $25, if you don't know 35, if you don't know 35, if you don't know 35. Yes, sir, got a $30 bid of 5, if you don't know 35, if you don't know what I got a $35, if you don't know 45, if you don't know 5. Got a $40 bid of 5, if you don't know 50, got a $40, if you don't know 55, if you don't know 55 one time, if you don't know 55 two times, if you don't know 55 three times. Now sold that hoe for $50 bill. Thank you. The auctioneer. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we're going to leave you with a question. I'm not noted for being a big protest writer, and I do a lot of various songs. And I like to do songs like The Auctioneer and songs like Changes. They're so great. But I always like to close with one of my own. This one here is H.G. Wells says in his Outline of History that if you took the 250,000 years that mankind has been on the face of the earth and crammed it into an hour, that everything that has happened in civilization as we know it today would have happened in the last second, which is a rather strange thing to think about. And during that time, there have been an awful lot of things happen, and
and a lot of men who gave their lives so that we could be here. And the last verse of this song, which is called Echoes of Heroes, asks the question, must this be the road we are traveling yet? Must this be the time when the nations forget? The echo of heroes. Now the echo of the heroes is heard everywhere, from the conflict of old in the times of despair. All down through the ages the voices do ring. They cry out a victory and a freedom they sing. And the echo of the laughter and the songs that they sang. The whine of the steel and the roar of the guns, and the tolling of the bell and the cries of lame. And the echoes of heroes roll down through the ages to remind us again. In the fields of Flanders the brave ones do lie, Verdun and Ypres where 1,000,000 men died. From the Marne to the Somme to the Normandy shore, their spirits go marching where the wild eagles soar. From the land and the skies and the oceans they come, all onward they march as the drummers do drum. Their faces are bloody and their weapons are worn. Their bones are all shattered, their bodies all torn. And the echo of their laughter and the songs that they sang. The whine of the steel and the roar of the guns, and the tolling of the bell and the cries of lame. And the echoes of heroes roll down through the ages to remind us again. Must this be the road we are traveling yet? Must this be the time when the nations forget all the sons and the fathers who joined in the fray, to be killed and destroyed and be buried in the clay? And the echo of their laughter and the songs that they sang, the whine of the steel and the roar of the guns, and the tolling of the bell and the cries of the lame. And the echoes of heroes roll down through the ages to remind us again. And the echo of the laughter and the songs that they sang, the whine of the steel and the roar of the guns, and the tolling of the bell, the cries of the lame. And the echoes of the heroes roll down through the ages to remind us again. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. A story about a dog. Lived down the Okefenokee swamp. Spent his happy hours chasing raccoons, groundhogs, and cottonmouth moccasins. Till one day he caught one. This dog was so black it was almost blue, and that's what his master called him. He called him Old Blue. Every night old blues master come out on the back porch, he'd cup his hands around his mouth and he'd holler out, "Yo, blues!" Old blues big ears would come perking up, he'd come pounding across the wet sod with the great big ears a-flying in the breeze. The big paws a-pounding down on the wet soil, the big tongue a-lollygagging out in the ground. By the time he jumped up on the back porch, knocked you down, stepped in your eye and licked you all over, put his leg into his friskies, knocked you off the back stoop, bitten you, clawed you, jumped up on your back, bitten your ear off. Track manure all into the kitchen. You knew you had yourself a real dog. Well, I had an old dog and his name was Blue. Well, I had an old dog and his name was Blue. Had an old dog and his name was Blue. Bet you $5 he's a good dog too. I'm crying, yo, Blue. You good dog, you. So yo, Blue. You good dog, you. Well, my old Blue was a good old hound. You could hear him bugling miles around. You could hear him hollering loud and clear. Well, it sounds like the Blue done treat a bear. I'm crying, yo, Blue. You good dog, you. Yo, Blue. You good dog, you. Well, Blue chased a possum up a hollow limb. Blue chased a possum up a hollow limb. Blue chased a possum up a hollow limb. Blue girl, the possum whined at him. I'm crying, yo, Blue. You good dog, you. So, yo, Blue. You good dog, you. Well, when old Blue died, he died so hard. Shook the ground in my backyard. When I get to heaven, first thing I'll do, gonna grab my horn and call for Blue. I'm crying.